everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope everybody's doing well today. I was sitting around the house and thought, I'm feeling a little bummed. I'm going to get out and drive around. And I drove to this, it's not a real big church, but it's a big church. And it's known for the 3 crosses they have in the front of the side of the building. They're pretty big. And I thought, I'm going to drive in the parking lot and sit. And my favorite tree is a weeping willow, and there's like 3 of them in front of me. And I love the sound they make when the wind blows through them. I like watching them as the wind blows through them. Although, I have a funny story of a weeping willow. When I was, I think 13, I had a paper out. And this woman would complain about her paper not being thrown at her front door. Now, to her front door was like a very small breezeway, and it was hard to throw that newspaper in that breezeway. I mean, you'd have to walk up to the breezeway and toss the paper in there. And she would complain like monthly, maybe even weekly. It was often me, and I don't remember who else. Maybe my stepsister, because she had the paper out. I shared it with her. We went and toilet papered her weeping willow tree, and it kind of was pretty because we let the roll hit the ground, and we'd rip it off, and it would flow in the wind with the branches and everything, and it was still in the tree the next morning when we went to school. So I'm not really sure what today's video is going to be, but something just kind of kept telling me that I need to do a video today. So when I drove out here, I sat in the parking lot for a while, and I'm thinking, what am I going to do a video on today? Because I wasn't prepared. I had said in my last video that I need to put them out more often. Although I'm trying to grow my subscribers. I have 30 of you guys now. Thank you. And I'm real thankful that all 30 of you have subscribed. It means a lot to me. And I don't think I'll make it to my 1,000 subscribers. This October will be a year, I think. It would be nice if I did, but I don't think I will. It'd be really great if I did. I just couldn't think of a topic except for, I thought I'd throw in my nightly visits that I have. I don't want to go in a lot of, well, I will go in detail because I still don't know what they are. I have an idea, but I don't want to just come out and say it because I'm afraid YouTube will just take my videos, my channel down. And I don't know if they will stop my other channels too. I don't know that. I will say that the visits have increased, or I've become more aware of the visits. I can't remember what I last said, where I left off in my last video of what's been going on. They would come to me in the beginning as other than the geometric shapes and stuff like that. Little clouds, maybe like, maybe like that big. And they would be a blackish gray, and they would always be like in a puff on my ceiling, kind of like attached to my ceiling. I'd always become aware when they were there, and I don't know how long they would be there. I would just know that as soon as my eyes open, my eyes would go right to them. I never had to search, never. That my eyes were just bam, right there. And they would like come down, still attached to the ceiling, but they wouldn't be like a tight ball to the ceiling. They would like come down, eject down, however you want to say it. And they would be transformed into like a fuzzy caterpillar. It was like the cloud had a ripple effect with many, many legs. And they would go from the opposite end of the ceiling in the corner, and they would scurry toward the window, and they would eventually go invisible before they go to the window, about 2 feet before the window. But you could still kind of see, it looked like clear jelly. And they would go out the window. But then it's got where now they are directly over my bed. It's not in the corner anymore, it's closer. And they went from the caterpillar thing to huge spiders. And I don't know if I've said it in my last video, I don't really have a fear of spiders. I know that like the tarantulas, the bigger ones are scary. The tarantula's dangerous, the brown recluse, etc. The bigger spiders is what scares me. The smaller ones, not so much. And these would come to be big spiders. In the beginning, I was a little disturbed, not scared. And mind you, although these objects are blackish gray, I still have no fear. So I don't think that they're bad. I know they're not bad, because if they were, they would have done something by now. Like a poltergeist or whatever. But anyway, they would turn into a spider and do the same thing. They would go toward the window, turn invisible. And once I caught one, because I sat and watched it all the way to the window. And it looked like, when it turned invisible, like clear jelly, you could see it just squeezing, dissolving through the window into the screen and out. It was really weird. One day, I got really tired of waking up to the spiders. It was boring. So one day, I was going through, I think, Facebook or something, or Reddit. And in there it said, somebody asked a question, how do you communicate it to, they were referring to aliens. I think it was aliens, I can't remember. And then this one person said, write on something in a question form, and they will usually answer. And I thought, I'm going to try that, because telepathically didn't really seem to be working that much. I would invite them to the house, surround myself with a white light. I welcomed all positives, no negatives, It got where when I thought I felt my depression kind of creeping back, I would invite them. I would ask for the body vibrations, because it was, I'm going to be honest with you, it was kind of a loving feeling. And there were times where I just needed to feel that. And they would do that. And then my depression feeling would be gone that next day. So, but I would ask them to stay when they were leaving, and they never would stay. So I'm like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to write something on my bed beside me, because I sleep on one side of the bed. In there with a big black permanent marker, I wrote, can you change form to something other than a spider, like butterflies, just to see. And I left it there, and that night I woke up to butterflies flying. Well, I think it was one butterfly. Now, keep in mind that I take a sleeping pill, and so it's really hard to come all the way awake. And no, it's not my sleeping pill that is making me have these occurrences, because if that was true, I've been on them since 2001. These incidences have not happened until almost 3 months ago. So that doesn't make sense. So anyway, I woke up to a butterfly. Oh, and I gotta say something else. I hope I don't lose track. And then I think I woke up like 3 times one night. One was like a butterfly with long strings coming off the wings, and it was so pretty. And then there was another one. I can't remember what one that was. Also, the next day, because it happened for 2 days. The next day or the third day, I went out driving. I saw blue and black butterflies everywhere. I mean, everywhere. In the street, in the air, you name it. And I'm like, is this butterfly season? I don't know what's going on. I kind of, put it off. I got home later that day and I was grilling on the charcoal grill out in the back deck. Amazingly, this big yellow, now pink and yellow are my favorite colors, but this butterfly was yellow with black dots and outline, flew right in front of me and down on the ground to the other end of the deck. I'm like, that is so weird. This is so weird. And I am one to not believe in, if you want something, signs are everywhere. I kind of don't believe in that, but things are changing to me a lot lately. One day, I think it was recently, either before or after the butterflies, I can't remember, because they're not butterflies anymore. They went back to the same thing. One day, I played with this object. It was kind of like a crab form without the pinchers, if that makes sense. I don't know. But I woke up and it was straight over me. And they always know when I see them. So I'm looking at it and I can't remember if it backs up or it turns around, but it goes back to the window. And I thought, I'm going to close my eyes and see if it comes back in. I closed my eyes. And, I'm just sitting there thinking, because sometimes when I wake up, I come fully awake. Not all the time. And I'm like, I'm going to wait here for just a minute or so and open my eyes and see if it comes back in. Because usually I just close my eyes and go back to sleep because they went out the window. They're gone. I open my eyes. There it was again. And it scurries off. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so funny. So this happened like 4 or 5 times, and then from what I seen after the last time, it didn't come back. Then I went back to sleep. And that happens a lot now. The other day, I have slowly been kind of not depressed, and I don't remember how that feels anymore. Getting down that I don't know what these things are, what they want, what my purpose is, etc., etc. And it's been annoying me. And for 2 days, I kind of felt bummed. I think it's more accurate. And I woke up, and I know one of my videos I've shared that they were working on my back with the little needles. Well, I woke up to that, and it felt like a vibration going from my back area toward my belly button. And I'm like, okay, and of course I welcome that because, like I said, that vibration makes me feel really good and energized. It's like a welcoming feeling. It's like something my body needs, like they're re-energizing it or something. I don't know what's going on. So I laid there and let him do it. And then, this is really weird. I felt something moving around in my stomach. It felt like somebody's big fist in there just like rolling around. And I'm like, and it was painless. It was so weird. And I put my hand down there, everything stopped and didn't start back. And I'm like, man. And then the next day I woke up to my body vibrating and with the movement in my stomach only, with the vibrating. And I opened my eyes and there was this black crab-like thing where the ceiling and the wall meets like this. It was in the corner, like it was peeking in at me, and my eyes open. It was like, bam, there it is. And then you could see it creeping out, like it was going out of the wall. And I'm like, okay, that's weird. The vibration, everything stopped. And I'm thinking, no, don't stop, because I want that. And I closed my eyes and it started again. And then that happened 3 times. And I should have kept my eyes closed because it eventually just stopped. And then another time, of the body vibrations. It was like 3 days in a row. I, in my sleep, apparently put my hand on my stomach, everything stopped, and then I quickly moved it and said, no, don't stop, and it came back. And I remember the feeling put me to sleep because it was so comforting. One more thing that I want to say is I do a lot of research to try to figure out what's going on. Twice I have read that, and like I said, I hate saying that they're extraterrestrial only because I don't know. And I don't want to sit here and say that's what it is. I know without a doubt because I don't know. What I'm reading is if they are, they leave your body behind. Although they can take it, they can break down the molecules to take you through the roof or the wall or whatever. But a lot of times they'll leave your body behind and they take your light being, your soul, your spirit, whatever you want to call it, and they take that with you or them. And then these people will become aware that they're not attached to their body, and they'll look back and still see their body on the bed sleeping. I'm wondering if that's what's going on, because I can feel all that movement in my stomach and I have no pain. I don't know. It would be nice to know that that's what they are, because, and I'm not saying that, I don't believe in God or anything like that, because I do now. It's that you hear so many good things and bad. I think the bad things are people who don't know what they're talking about. But of loving things from these extraterrestrials, and they can heal you and things like that. I don't know. I just feel some kind of connection about that. Also, I've come to find out that this is going to be a long video. They usually, this long will take, it's about 17 minutes. It takes almost 2 days to download because I do it through the data on my phone and very slow internet Wi-Fi at the house because I teeter back and forth. What I found lately is evidently these things tend to be around a lot, because I can't see them once I'm awake moving around. I don't see them. I do see what looks like in my peripheral visions and little flashes of like balls of light. Speaking of that, I saw the lights around my eyes again. That's in another video. And then my daughter comes home, and apparently they knew because seconds later they disappeared and she came in the door. It was like little pin lights all over, and it had a zigzag going up this way. Don't know what that was. Once I'm out walking around the house doing my things, I don't see the objects anymore, the entities, whatever you want to call them. When I go to bed, I still don't see them, but when I go to sleep, I tend to wake up, they're there. Okay, when I wake up in the mornings, sometimes I see them, it's like they're leaving, and they're clear, and it's like snow, like TV snow. I don't know if a lot of you guys who are subscribed or watching knows, because that's not real common anymore in TV. But it's like the white clear jelly form with like black dots. I'm going to call them molecules. That's the only way I know how to describe them. But the black dots all in them. And they'll go over me when I wake up. And I've got now where I look for them, because evidently I accidentally spotted one the first time about a week ago. And now every morning when I wake up, I look for them and I see them. It's like a clear jelly form just jelloing out toward the window with the black dots. And the black dots is what makes me spot them. And then when I really look at them, you can see the clear jelly form like thing. This morning I saw two. A real big one, just probably as big as my head, and then it looked like two small ones behind it, maybe connected or something, maybe about that big, maybe about that big, going out. And they were the same clear jelly with the little black dots, and they were following behind. And the last couple of days I've been thinking, do they sit and watch me sleep? I know that for a fact, because like I've said, when I wake up, open my eyes, they take off, but then they come back. So for some reason, they're watching me sleep. I don't know why. But when I'm awake, they leave, or so it looks like it. And throughout the day, I'll look at my ceiling and see if I can see anything like that, and I don't see them. And if they are just sitting there still, I don't think I could see them because they look like they blend in to the ceiling because they're clear. When they move is when you can see it. I don't know on that part. I'm sure I've told you that I had a dream, a premonition in the dream about my dog dying. And once I figured that out, I broke it down and it kind of makes sense from what I seen. And no, in my dream I was asking the voice, will he suffer? And it was never answered. It was like a worry. And I think that something in the dream was telling me that he will suffer. And I was saying I don't want him to suffer because he did suffer. But I'm not going to talk about that because I'm still pretty sensitive about it. I had another premonition, if you want to call it that, and I didn't know it until like a week after it happened. I was talking to somebody in a restaurant, and this voice in my head just kept saying earthquake over and over and over. And I remember thinking, talking to this person, trying to ignore that voice, thinking, why do I keep thinking earthquake, you know? And I remember seeing it, what's her name? Rebel Wilson. I follow her on Instagram. She had made a comment, did anybody feel that earthquake in California? I didn't even think about it. And it was like 2 days after that, I saw a post about it again from a YouTuber. And then it hit me. Oh my God. I think it was like 2 to 3 days before it actually happened. I had that going through my head. And that dream was 2 or 3 days before my dog died too. Now, I'm not saying I predicted that earthquake, but it was coincidental. I don't know if what's going on with me is opening up certain abilities that I've had. I've had these abilities when I was a little girl growing up, and a lot of things scared me, so I blocked them off. So now I'm wondering, are these things coming to me flooded all in at once? I don't know. Of course, I'll keep you guys updated. And I think I found my topic of what to talk about today. Yeah, I think my next video is going to be talking about a date that I had recently. Yeah, I think that's going to be my next video. Because that's the guy who I was talking to that I had the earthquake word going through my head. So on that note, I'm going to end this video. It was a pretty lengthy one. I didn't know what to talk about. And I thought, as I was saying, I didn't know what to talk about. That all came to my head and thought, well, I'm just going ahead and talk about it. A lot of you subscribed when I was talking about it in the beginning. Evidently, you guys are interested in it or you wouldn't still be there. So, yeah. So, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're having a great day or night wherever you're at. And I will talk to you soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That like that you give, it puts you out in the algorithm, and that will help me out quite a bit. Hopefully I can get some more subscribers once they start seeing my videos out there. And comment below. I would love to hear your comments or read them because you can't hear the comments. So I'm going to leave you guys in light, love, and peace. Thanks for watching. Bye.